Many celebrities cultivate a carefully crafted public persona, and Taylor Swift is no exception. While she may come across as super sweet, if a tiny bit boy crazy, there are some things she's done behind the scenes that are more than a little questionable. Although she's relatively scandal-free at first glance, we'll talk about some of the strangest things about Taylor Swift and why she might not be who you think she is. Just why does Taylor Swift have so much bad blood between her and other people? Well, let's find out. One common criticism of Taylor Swift is that she frequently alludes to her romantic relationships in her music. But honestly, so what? Most musicians use inspirations from their actual lives, and their fans truly enjoy it. Swift writing breakup-inspired songs isn't a big deal, and deep down, we all know that. But it more often than not keeps us from talking about the truly strange and unsettling things that Taylor Swift actually does. Have you ever noticed that Swift has a ton of enemies in Hollywood? Celebrity feuds aren't unheard of, but what is it about Swift that has earned the ire of so many? After the whole Kanye West interrupting her thing, she had the sympathy and attention of the world. So why have so many people turned against her since then? Let's start out by talking about the way she became famous in the first place. To hear Swift tell it, she comes from a humble background and grew up on a Christmas tree farm. Fans love the narrative that Swift came from nothing and built herself up into a huge megastar. But that's really not true. Sure, she may have grown up surrounded by trees, but her mother worked in the finance industry and her father was a stockbroker for Merrill Lynch. When she was 14 years old, she signed on with Big Machine Records, and her father purchased a substantial stake in the company. There's nothing wrong with all of this, but it does provide a stark contrast to the humble beginnings Swift claims to have come from. And since we mentioned the Kanye West thing, let's take a second to talk about that debacle. Yes, Kanye West was in the wrong to interrupt her. It was absolutely ridiculous, and it's no wonder the incident made so many headlines. But that being said, Swift has been milking that incident ever since it happened, all the way back in 2009. She's given tons of interviews and claimed that she accepted West's sincere apology over the whole thing, and that really should have been the end of it. But of course, it wasn't. She revealed that she keeps a framed photo of the incident in her house, which is, frankly, kind of strange. And then in 2015, West and Swift reportedly reconciled again, which seemed very unnecessary. When Kanye mentioned it in the song Famous, he claimed it had been cleared with Swift and her team, but Swift denied this and fired back an insult at West during the 2016 Grammys. While Swift and West may never be friends, it seems as though plenty of other people like Swift, right? In 2015, fans pointed out that Swift's Girl Squad was rather monochromatic. Pretty much as soon as that observation became public knowledge, Swift all of a sudden started hanging out with Soraya McNeil all the time. This would be sweet if Swift didn't also spell her new BFF's name wrong in an Instagram post. Before she was a huge star in her solo career, Havana singer Camila Cabello was a member of the girl group Fifth Harmony. When she turned 18, Swift threw her an awesome party and kinda didn't include a single member of the band. We guess their invites just got lost in the mail? If that's how Swift treats her friends, what does she do about her enemies? Let's take a look at the alleged inspiration for the song Bad Blood, Katy Perry. Swift and Perry started out as pals, but things got tense when some of Swift's backup dancers left to work for Perry. According to the dancers, they weren't getting enough work with Swift, so it was nothing more than a financial decision. But Swift chose to take it personally. Swift claimed that Perry tried to sabotage an entire arena tour. Although her feud with Katy Perry got a ton of publicity, it's far from the only enemy Swift has made on her climb to the top. In the past, Swift gave credit to Ronnie Kramer for teaching her how to play the guitar and structure her songs properly. Eventually, Kramer realized teaching Swift was the most impressive thing on his resume, so he started a website called ITaughtTaylorSwift.com. Swift immediately brought legal action upon Kramer and claimed his website would dilute and tarnish her image. Although she's had tons of help getting to the top, Swift seems to resent anyone who might conceivably profit from her. Trademarking your song lyrics is standard in the industry, but Swift preemptively trademarked phrases from her album 1989. These include phrases like "party like it's 1989," "this sick beat," and "nice to meet you, where have you been?" Her legal team sent cease and desist letters to people selling their handcrafted goods through Etsy.com if they felt they infringed on these copyrights. Now, we're not trying to defend black market merchandise, but at this point, Swift just seems kind of petty. She's a massively successful multi-millionaire, and yet she still wants to hunt down people who dare to print "'cause we never go out of style" on a t-shirt. And speaking of Swift nickel and diming fans, let's talk about her often confusing stance on streaming services. She pulled all of her music on Spotify, a streaming service which offers free listening options. Swift also posted on social media, quote, "Music is art, and art is important and rare. Important, rare things are valuable. Valuable things should be paid." She went on to say that listening to music should not be free, and took her music to Apple Music, which does not offer a free version. And when Apple Music did offer a free 3-month trial period, Swift, of course, had a problem with it, because she wouldn't be seeing any royalties during this period. She called it, quote, "shocking, disappointing, and completely unlike this historically progressive and generous company." But years later, she had a change of heart. And what a coincidence, her musical catalog made it back to Spotify on the same day Katy Perry released her latest album. So clearly at this point, you've surely realized that Taylor Swift is very compassionate about copyright law. But it seems this is only a one-way street for Taylor. Artist Ali Bergere created a painting of an adorable little fox that found its way onto Swift's Instagram page. The only problem was, Swift had posted a pirated copy with no credit to the original artist. After a year of frustrating back and forth with Swift's legal team, Swift finally offered Bergere a settlement, under the condition that it must all be donated to charity. What was it Swift said about art having value again? There were also some remarkable similarities between Swift's song All Too Well and the song I Saw by Matt Nathanson. Swift sings, "And I'll forget about you long enough to forget why I needed you," while Nathanson's version is "I'll forget about you long enough to forget why I need you." Now, this could be a coincidence, except for the fact that Swift admits to being a huge Nathanson fan. When Nathanson pointed out her hypocrisy, he was overwhelmed by Swift's fans defending her. We mentioned earlier that Taylor Swift uses real-life inspiration for many of her songs, and we can't hate on her for that alone. But there have been occasions where she goes way too far, and she's completely unrepentant about it. When Ariana Grande penned "Thank You Next" about her exes, she let them each hear the song in advance so there would be no ugly surprises. Swift has never paid her exes the same respect, no matter how obvious it is who she's talking about. Her ex-boyfriend Joe Jonas claims Swift manipulated the public perception of their breakup to make herself seem sympathetic. She sings about Jonas's next girlfriend, Camilla Bell, and says, quote, "She's an actress. She's better known for the things that she does on the mattress." Really? And then we have the song Dear John, which was rumored to be about her brief relationship with John Mayer, who claimed he felt humiliated by the song. In response, Swift called John presumptuous for assuming the song with his name in the title was about him. During the 2013 Golden Globes, comedians Tina Fey and Amy Poehler joked about her dating history, and Swift was quick to quote Madeleine Albright during an interview about the incident. She said, quote, "There's a special place in hell for women who don't support other women." We wonder where the song Bad Blood fits into Swift supporting other women. Taylor Swift also tried out a shocking new security measure while on her Reputation tour. Going through a metal detector and security check are pretty standard concert fare, but attendees didn't even realize this next security stop took place. They saw a kiosk which showed footage of Swift getting ready for the tour, and naturally, most people stopped to watch for a moment. But what they didn't know was that the screen was equipped with facial recognition software. Their images were captured and transferred to a command post where they were cross-referenced against photos of people who have allegedly been stalking Swift. This may seem like a completely over-the-top move, but it's hard to blame Swift for being concerned about her safety. Many celebrities have had to deal with obsessive stalkers. It seems as though Swift is trying to keep her private life private, now more than ever before. Maybe she's worried that the cracks are finally starting to show in her public persona, and that fans might notice some things about her just don't add up. What do you think about the way the media portrays Taylor Swift? Are they too hard on her? Or are there some things about her life which warrant closer examination? Share your opinion with us in the comment section and click on the subscribe button for more great videos from us here at The Taco. Bye for now.